The death of Napoleon Bonaparte remains one of history's most intriguing mysteries. Here was a man who once dominated Europe, a military genius who reshaped nations, yet his final days were spent in lonely exile on a remote island. The official story says he died of stomach cancer, but whispers of poison, betrayal, and conspiracy have persisted for nearly 2 centuries. Was his death truly natural, or was something more sinister at play? Napoleon's downfall began in 1815 with his defeat at Waterloo. The British, determined to prevent any chance of his return to power, sent him to the isolated island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. Far from the grand palaces of Paris, he lived in a damp, uncomfortable house under constant guard. His health, once robust, began to decline rapidly. He suffered from severe abdominal pain, weakness, and nausea symptoms that modern investigators would later question. By May 1821, he was dead at just 51 years old. The British doctors who examined him concluded that stomach cancer was the cause, pointing to his family history of the disease, but even then, doubts lingered. Almost immediately, rumors of poisoning spread. Napoleon himself believed he was being murdered. In his final days, he reportedly said, "I die before my time, murdered by the English oligarchy." His loyal attendants claimed that his symptoms matched those of arsenic poisoning: violent stomach pains, swollen limbs, and sudden hair loss. Years later, scientific tests on strands of Napoleon's hair revealed shocking levels of arsenic, far beyond what would occur naturally. This discovery fueled the poisoning theory, but it also raised new questions. If Napoleon was poisoned, who did it, and why? The list of suspects is long. The British had every reason to want Napoleon gone. Keeping him alive was a risk. If he escaped or was rescued, he could have rallied his supporters and plunged Europe back into war. Yet outright assassination would have been politically dangerous. A slow, untraceable poison might have been the perfect solution. Then there were Napoleon's enemies in France. The restored monarchy under King Louis XVIII saw him as a lingering threat. Even some of his former allies may have turned against him, fearing his return would destabilize the country. One of the most suspicious figures in this mystery is Count Charles Tristan de Montholon, a French nobleman who accompanied Napoleon into exile. Montholon had financial troubles and may have been bribed to poison the former emperor. Some historians believe he had access to arsenic and could have slipped it into Napoleon's food or wine. Yet without a confession or direct evidence, this remains speculation. Another theory suggests that Napoleon's death was accidental. In the 19th century, arsenic was everywhere in medicines, cosmetics, and even household items. The green wallpaper in Napoleon's residence contained copper arsenite, a toxic compound. In humid conditions, the wallpaper could have released poisonous fumes, slowly poisoning him without anyone's deliberate action. But if this were the case, why did others in the same household not fall severely ill? The debate took a dramatic turn in 1961 when Swedish toxicologist Sten Forsjöfod published a study analyzing Napoleon's hair samples. He found not just high levels of arsenic, but a pattern consistent with repeated small doses, exactly what a slow poisoner would use. This discovery reignited the murder theory, but skeptics pointed out that arsenic was commonly used in embalming and preservation, which could have contaminated the samples. When Napoleon's body was exhumed in 1840 to be moved to Paris, witnesses claimed it was unusually well preserved, a possible side effect of arsenic, which can slow decomposition. Yet again, this was not definitive proof. Some medical experts argue that Napoleon's symptoms, weight loss, vomiting, and internal bleeding, are consistent with advanced stomach cancer. His father had died of the same disease, suggesting a possible genetic predisposition. So where does the truth lie? The evidence is a puzzle with missing pieces. The arsenic in his hair is undeniable, but whether it was deliberate poisoning, environmental exposure, or even post-mortem contamination remains unclear. The British had motive but no clear method. Montholon had opportunity, but no proven intent. The wallpaper theory explains the arsenic but not all of Napoleon's symptoms. Perhaps the most compelling argument is that Napoleon's death was the result of multiple factors: stress, poor living conditions, possible illness, and perhaps even low-level arsenic exposure from his surroundings. But the idea of murder is irresistible because it fits the dramatic arc of his life. A man who rose from obscurity to conquer nations, only to be brought down by secret enemies, makes for a story too gripping to dismiss. In the end, Napoleon's death remains an unsolved riddle. Science has provided clues, but no definitive answers. Historians continue to debate, conspiracy theories persist, and the mystery endures. What we do know is that Napoleon's legacy was too powerful to fade quietly. Whether by natural causes or foul play, his end was as controversial as his life, and that, perhaps, is exactly how he would have wanted it, a final enigma for the ages.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.